Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and we're back to play with the craft sticker paper. It comes like this. It's an A4 sheet and the craft envelopes that have the little heart closure like this one that I showed earlier. So we're going to do some playing. What I did was I took a few sheets and I put them in the printer. I used both printers. I did inkjet and I used the laser so that I could see the difference and what I liked better. But first what I had to do is cut off a sliver of them so that they would be 11 inches long. They're 8 1/4 wide, but they're longer than 8 1/2. So for them to fit in the printer correctly without jamming, I just had to cut off a sliver. And so now what I'm going to do with these is I can stamp words on them so that I can use these too, so that they're not going to go to waste. So here I've got Love Junk Journals, more random numbers printed, and I did the 5x7 and I printed 2 on the page so that they're nice and small the way I like to use them. I also printed a page of words that we can cut out and use. And I printed some vintage labels from the Mad Paper Crush to use also. And I've been cutting a few of them out here and there already because I just can't wait. And I think I prefer the inkjet printer on this craft sticker paper. It seems like the toner doesn't get quite set enough with the laser printer that it can rub off a little bit, but with the inkjet they look really nice. So I would recommend the inkjet printer on this craft sticker paper. And with the Mad Paper Crush and with Tracy Fox, they both have clear labels in their sets. And so it wasn't a waste of ink, and I just get the borders, and I think they look really nice. I like them. So let's play and use them up. We're going to do some stamping of stickers here too. I think I have an example. Oh yes, I did some more printing. Here I've got some pharmacy labels. Here I printed a ledger sheet that I'm going to stamp over for making labels. Another ledger sheet. And here these beach words, sayings, and phrases from Mrs. Coggs. They had a craft background, and so that printed on here nice too. And my next journal after the little golden books is going to be a day at the beach theme as a design team project for Studio 28. And here is one printed with Tracy Fox, her botanical definitions, and I printed them 5x7 also, so you can see how they print on the craft paper. I think they were all a success, which is the key. But we're going to use these today. So I'm going to put the labels aside a little bit and let's play making some envelopes. So I'll leave this one, and so they come like this. They have score lines, so I'm just going to fold them over and burnish them on the score lines. Nice heavy weight of craft paper cardstock. So this is what they're going to look like. And the little lobes of the heart, or the little petals of the heart, fold up. They've got little score lines also, and they fit right inside that slot. So let me grab some stuff that I have fussy cut already. And this is some stuff from the Day at the Beach kit. I'm going to use some of this ultra fine cheesecloth. Just cut a hunk off. This is fun to use. It's unbleached. Okay, and you know, I think, here, we'll flip it over. I want to put this image on the back of the two girls at the beach, but I don't know if I'm going to use some lace or some cheesecloth. Haven't thought that far in advance. I think I want to go with the lace. It kind of resembles fishnet. So I'm going to trim off this thick, heavy portion here. Let's get a better pair of scissors. Make sure it's not upside down. I think it's just fun to just decorate them up. Yeah, so it kind of resembles some fishnet to go with the beach. Let's ink it up a little bit first before we start. And then I flip it over. Okay. I'm going to use some 3-in-1 glue. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of the heavier or denser spots. I'm dropping stuff. Okay, give it a little bit of an ink. I like that vintage look. Personal preference. Yeah, and then I'm going to use the 3-in-1 glue again because we're adhering to the fabric, to the lace. So that's kind of cute. Put that on the back. And let's play with the front a little bit. She's got these shells, and I coffee dyed the kit before I did any cutting or anything, after I printed it. And I thought that could be like just a little trim down here at the bottom. Let's grab the art glitter glue. And it's going off the edge, and that's okay because we're going to open it up and just trim it. Might be easier for me to trim it on this side. I just love these little envelopes. Let's give that some ink too. Let's go ahead and do the top also. And hit these little sides of that slot, just to give it a little bit of color. And then we'll put the heart through and just hit some of the edges. Just a little bit. Okay, and then I've got this seahorse, and let's put some cheesecloth. I'm going to cut off the end. I don't care for the manufactured end very much, so get rid of that. Can fray it. That adds a little bit. I've got a little thing of, this is my travel snippet collection, so I just have little tiny odds and ends in here. Let's see if there's anything I can use. Let's grab a little bit of this paper, and this is German. Let's ink it up. We have our fun, colorful buttons. I want to check out the off-white one and see how that looks. And I've got a needle, well, a couple of needles threaded already with some blue pearl cotton, and I've got some gold top stitching thread. See what I like better on that button. Maybe the blue. Let's move a few things. But what I want to do is darken it up a little bit. And how I do that, so I get a little bit not so bright of a color, is I'm just going to put it on the ink pad. And I hold it and I pull it. So it just gets a little bit darker. See, it's toned down some now. Let's move that back out of the way. Let's glue these papers together so that I have less to hang on to when I sew that button on. And just a dab of that glue. So it's acting like a pin for me. Rub it off my fingers. And I want to tie it on the top. So I'm going to go in from the top. And just make a little X, and then I'm going to bring the thread back up into that top one so that I can tie a knot. It's a pretty simple thing to add, but it adds quite a bit. Gives it that little touch. Yep, I like it over here on the left side. Let's go ahead and glue it on. And I'm just going to place glue where behind the paper portion. Trying to decide while it's still wet, how do I like it? You know, that's going to be just great. Yes. And here we have a little scene on the back. Let's do another one, a little different. grab some stuff. I like that. That'll be a fun little insert, won't it? We didn't put a label on it. I wanted a label, didn't I? My goodness. Okay. I have a couple of them fussy cut out already. So let's take a look. Too big. Could work. Probably that one, unless we have a word. Let's take a look at, I just printed a random sheet, so I'm not quite sure what. Discover, oh, explore. Let's put a word on there instead of a label. And I'm going to go ahead and rip it out. And ink up the edges a little bit. Anything to get dirty. Gotta get dirty. I was in the garden earlier today planting some more plants and got good and dirty. But my grandsons love it. They like to help. Okay, there, yes, we'll put our word on there. Explore. Okay, now let's make another one. I've got some pieces cut out. This way to the beach. I'm going to use up that inked one that I already had ready. Let's go ahead and do that. You don't want to see me inking anyway, right? And this is a pocket that came in the kit. And I just cut it out and folded it on the score lines and inked around it. And make sure it's not upside down. Let's just put a little pocket on the back. Okay, stick that down. Don't get a lot of working time. It dries right away, and I want it to try to be as centered as I can get it, but close enough. And then just kind of pressing it down. And then this is another page from the journal, and I just cut it or ripped it out. And I thought I could use it for a little journaling card in the pocket. It's just a poem from Robert Louis Stevenson, At the Seaside. So that can fit right inside our little pocket. And let's have some fun on the front with our This Way to the Beach. And we get our netting look again. I'm going to open this up. Here, we can work with it this way, so I've got more room. I think that'll work. And I'm just going to apply glue to this paper. Got kind of thick there. We'll thin it out. And there's enough glue so it'll go right through that cheesecloth onto the cardstock. And rub off the glue off my hands. This way to the beach. Oozed a little bit. Give it a quick rub while it's not dry yet. Get that off of there. Okay, and I have a burlap string. When I was fraying the burlap, I kept some of the string, so I just tied it in a bow. And let's grab a label. 2 square. Let me cut a new one. I like the blue though, so let's grab the blue page. Can cut it across, but if I save the margins, I can stamp on them. Oh, speaking of stamps, how about if we do some stamping? Or it says, meet me at the, yeah. Meet me at the beach is what this stamp says. I've never used it. Had it for years. But and this is just a date, time, and place. I don't want to use that one though. Let's meet me at the beach. How about if we stamp on the sticker paper? We're going to use that margin that I was talking about. Let's close this up and get my stamp block. I'm going to use a VersaFine in black. Never used it before, so I want to do a stamp off. If I can find, here's a scrap paper. That will work. Okay. On a new stamp, I never know if I have to hit it with the emery board first or if it's good to go. And then I'll just let the ink soak into the paper for a few seconds. And we have our stamp. Let's go ahead and cover this. And I like that ripped look, so I'm going to go ahead and rip it again. And we'll ink it a little bit. And I lost that little bow I had, didn't I? Do you see my bow? That might be fun. Oh, there's my bow. I don't know. The jute works with it, but I don't know if a bow does. Oh, here I've got some more fun toys in here on the bottom. Let's check these out. Here I've got some more burlap. These little trims kind of resemble shells a little bit, don't they? Forget. Now, and here I've got a little fun button. That fun button might be cute down here. Oh, here I've got some corrugated cardboard. I have a super old ancient crimper. Let me grab it. And my middle grandson loves to put paper through here and crimp away. This is an oldie but goodie, and it works really, really well. It doesn't even have a brand name on it, but it's probably a no-name brand. But it works, goes both ways. Super simple to use. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. Here, we'll put that paper in it, and you can see. And it comes up with this really nice crinkled look. Gotta love the fun toys. And it stays in even when you press it out, so it's not as notice or distinguishable. You still have that rippling effect. So I really like it. It's a nice one. But I was gonna rip this paper a little bit. It's cardstock. Give me a raw edge. Kind of a driftwoody type look, I think. Driftwood and beaches, I think, go together well. When I was growing up on the farm, we had our own lake out on the side of the homestead property, and there was a lot of driftwood that we would collect. And after working in the fields, we would get to swim and fish and have our barbecue, had a nice break, and then we'd go back to the fields again. That adds just a nice little layer. Let's ink both sides and see which side I like better. You never know when you're going to use up these little scraps. Yeah, I like it pointing the other way. Not as big of a point though. Let's go ahead and glue that down. And take the backing off of my sticker. I just love this paper. That sticks on there really nice. It's a good quality. I'm going to leave the links to these products in the description box so that you can check it out. I think you'll be happy with them. So check them out. They're very reasonably priced. And check out all the other good, fun craft supplies they have at BeeBeeCraft. I'm going to add this little button right here too. Just gluing it on. There. So we've got two ready for my little beach, day at the beach journal. This one's a little simple one with just a little pocket in the back for a journaling card. And then it's got the space inside for journaling also. So we've got two little envelopes finished. And let's move this aside. And we used one of our buttons today. Let's make some room. I make big messes. It's not fun to craft if you can't make a big mess, right? Love my messes. The cleaning up part is not part that's not so much fun, right? So we take it out of the bag so we don't have so much glare. And I can't remember. I believe there's like 100 pieces of these envelopes. There's quite a few. They're really nice and fun to use. Limitless possibilities. And we've got our sticker paper here. Make some more room. And you get 50 sheets of the A4 size sticker paper. And it is printable. both inkjet and laser. And this is printed with laser, and this is printed with laser. This is printed inkjet. And I do prefer the inkjet printing on the craft sticker paper. So here's a couple of our designs that we got finished. I want to thank you everybody for watching today, and have a great day. Happy creating.